Hi, how you doing, Dr. Joe? This is David. I'm here. Election. Um, really discuss what is, I've been on specifically and how I've been explaining everything. The thing that I've been thinking about most is the question that you posed. You posed about um, challenging ourselves and asking ourselves, what is our purpose? What is our goal? What is our mission? Um, and that's actually a question that I think has it makes me cringe sometimes because I always wonder if I'm on the right road, if I'm on the right path. Am I where I'm supposed to be? Am I making a difference? Um, so what is my purpose? It's something that I've tried to. Hopefully, I think after a couple of years, I think I'm on the right path. But I feel like I need to ask myself that a lot, in order to make sure that I can confirm that I am in many ways. I think this is very important to leadership because I think, in order to live, a purpose-driven life, in order to lead a purpose-driven life, you must have a purpose. Um, I believe in order to lead others, you must know yourself first, in order to get to know them and lead them effectively and impact them positively. Um, so therefore, like I agree with what John was saying, everything he was saying as far as the importance of being process oriented. But I felt like even while when he was mentioning that, even before he posed the question, that purpose is is so important, um, if not probably the most important thing uh, in accomplishing goals, tasks, and knowing oneself and knowing the people that you're serving with, um, or you're leading. I think it's very important to know who they are and their purpose, what makes them tick, what drives them, in order to utilize your strengths and your weaknesses. So I think overall, I think without purpose, um, being process oriented only gets you so far, and also vice versa. Just because you have a purpose, if you don't have the process to follow it, and right after, it's like having a car with no wheels. You're just stuck. You're just stuck, unable to maneuver and move forward. Um, so I thought about this for several years. I've reflected on this because I used to feel torn. And when you asked this question, it made me reflect and go back on where I was a few years ago and where I am today. I was so confused, not knowing where, if I was, like I mentioned, like just going around in circles for a while because I felt like I needed to know exactly what my specific purpose was in life in order to know what major to major in, what career path to take, and just really, figure out my way. So as far as like looking at the movies and looking at the exercises, I think they all in some way like touch upon the importance of knowing your purpose, of knowing or having a purpose. I think I think Crash in itself, like I think um, that's probably that movie, impacted me greatly, like a lot, especially the part where the little girl, um, the father thought the little girl got shot. Um, I believe he thought his purpose in life was not to necessarily, it's not just to work and not just to satisfy like customers. And I think his overall purpose was to take care of his daughter, was to take care of his family, was a higher calling than what seemed like was his immediate purpose. And I think his responsibility to his daughter at that moment in time, like he thought it almost seemed like he failed his purpose because he thought his daughter was was hurt, was killed. So not achieving your purpose, you know, could definitely impact you in a really positive way. The other thing that movie also um, revealed to me was how everyone collides. Everyone has their own purpose. Everyone has their own specific, like, agendas and what they believe they're on this earth for. But eventually they collide, and they'll either collide to collect together and achieve a greater purpose, or they'll crash. They'll crash and they'll maybe die out, or maybe just barely survive. Um, As far as I think that movie in itself shows an opportunity to have somebody else's life and have those people achieve a greater purpose, try to change the world. Anthony, his immediate purpose was to be a lawyer, and something that drove him, and he wanted to be the best at. He wanted to live, but living life to the fullest was his overall purpose. His rights were being infringed upon, and he was definitely like trying to make a difference, because he knew who he was. As far as the exercises, I believe in a drawbridge exercise, his purpose was making sure that he carried out his responsibility, and then his purpose was to having it before it was discovered that he was or she was not there, and I think they're collided. Fortunately, led to one dying and one surviving. I think that's life. I think sometimes it's hard, but it definitely is reality. The last exercise that we did in class, where you asked the question, we had to sit with a person and ask, "Who am I?" and explain who you are to somebody else, was probably another big part of knowing, figuring out your purpose and to achieve a greater purpose with others, because you could utilize your strengths and your weaknesses. Questions that I was asking myself was constantly, I think I am a leader? Am I a life changer, a difference maker? What lights me up on fire? I need to know to know my purpose, and figure out who I am. I was also asking myself, do I know the people around me? Do I know who they are? Because I believe in order to relationship, utilize strengths and weaknesses. Separates, an effective leader from just a leader who's kind of not really taking his responsibilities as serious as he should. This, throughout my life, I think, I know I'm still young, but like I mentioned earlier, trying to figure out what my purpose was. This question, like I mentioned earlier, I continuously ask. And the only thing I could say is, like, I've never been able to specifically pinpoint what my specific purpose is and just single it down to one, but instead realize that there's an overall purpose, at least in my opinion, and try to grow, to continue accomplishing your greater purpose, and then that there's many tasks, there's many things you are destined to encounter or achieve. So I think my goal, my purpose is to have a purpose-driven life, to honor and serve my God, my family, and my community to the best of my ability. And my purpose is also to continue fighting the good fight, realizing that life throws its crosses, but that I just need to kind of just continue fighting, continue trying to, hook and jab and just keep moving forward. I feel like my purpose is broad, but at the same time, I think it's definitely keeps me on the right path and trying to achieve and accomplish my next thing. So I think if your process of leading, leading effectively, ethically, purposely, and inclusively empowers others to achieve a common goal, then people will follow you, and even if you ask them to charge like the gates of hell, she said, you have the right purpose and the right vision, people will raise up their arms with you and accomplish anything that comes your way. So I think my current purpose is to find where I'm supposed to be and to serve right now. And our overall purpose is to come alive and stay alive.